Welcome back to Autism Live. We're here with Dina Kimmel from We Rock the Spectrum, really one of my heroes. She's an amazing woman on a mission to make a difference, and she is every day making a difference with her We Rock the Spectrum gyms, with both the owners who have this opportunity of entrepreneurship and creating a place in which their kids can be safe and have a place to work. And you know, as you say, it's a place where you never have to apologize, mm-hmm. right? And that the community benefits from it because kids of all abilities can come play together and work out some of those sensory issues in a positive way. So amazing. Well, and Dina doesn't stop. She creates and creates and creates. And so now you've got a new event that's coming up. It's happening here in the Los Angeles area. Tell us a little bit about the We Rock the Spectrum Resource Fair.
Rockin Resource Fair, yes, absolutely. Well, I want to give a little bit of...
And there's the flyer.
Oh, wonderful. Great. I want to give a little bit of history behind why we're doing this. And Malaysia has already done one. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about that. It went beautifully. But I'm sure if you can remember that in the 1st of April, when, you know, usually the Autism Speaks Walk in April is our biggest event, okay? And because it was my first open arms embrace to support. I mean, I am forever devoted to them, listen, forever. But when I got wind that they were charging for this event, oh, my heart broke, because let me tell you, talk about creating communities. That's what we do, and why I created my own nonprofit. My brother rocks a spectrum to give scholarships for people who, I mean, we scholarship people not just in We Rock. I sent a kiddo to Camp Fun Time, you know, who's dying to go there this, you know, this summer. We give, you know, clothes to kiddos, you know, gift cards for Ralph's. I mean, it's all about paying it forward. Yeah. So when I heard that, I just couldn't in my own heart and soul, I could not participate in that. And it was a big, big loss for me because we are big sponsors for that, every single walk. So I decided to, you know, let the public know, and I wrote a blog and didn't realize that it was going to have such a huge impact. You know, let's face it, I could have had a big kickback. Autism Speaks, you know, understood that I can't support this walk. All the ones across the states, if they're complimentary, my gyms will continue, and we will continue as a company to support what you do, but not to charge, no.
Not for a resource fair.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, I understand wanting to charge for admission for a walk. Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand you're having a fundraiser, but when it's a resource fair, where the whole thing is about, and our topic for this week was about finding resources and how vital that is.
Absolutely.
When it's, you know, and what that walk has meant to so many of us for so many years, to go and see that sea of people and all those booths that they could go to and get every single piece of information that you would need for a year. It was a miracle, and it was something we would always hold up on the show and say, everybody should have something like this, and more resource fairs were happening. And I understand when you say, you know, you got to register and pay for a fundraiser for a walk. I get that. But when we were told that if you didn't register and pay the $40, you couldn't get into the resource fair.
Oh my God, my heart.
We also did not go.
Yeah.
And it was
with
you
tears.
Didn't? Oh, no. Yeah. We have been a media sponsor of that event, and you know, and I have personally have not missed a walk since my son was diagnosed, and even one where I almost literally had to crawl to it. Because I was ill, and I was like, I'm not missing this. This has been our litmus test. So we did not participate either because I couldn't. I couldn't. Information should be free. It's why Autism Live is free. Information needs to be free. It's a line for me. I mean, I guess there are gradations of it. I mean, when people do a book, they sell a book, that's different to me.
It's different. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why my opinion, why I had to carry it out there to the community, was it's always been free.
Yes.
Okay, so if it started out that they were charging, then that's something different. But you can't change that. You can't change to where there's going to be 150 resources to 40 because now you have to pay $1,500 for a booth. Yeah. So for me, I had a difficult time with that alone, but I thought, okay, you know what? I am, and I still am devoted to them. I'm devoted to any organization that creates awareness.
I am too.
But I was very angry because I did not find out until we had committed. But I pulled out of of my sponsorship and of the walk, and there was a lot of mourning in my family. And Gabriel was like, "But mommy, my name on the back of the shirt, and us walking for autism, but you told me." And I had to try and explain to my son with autism. My daughter understood. She understands what it means that there's so many families who can't afford therapies, let alone $40 per child.
$40 per person.
Oh my gosh.
There were so many times for us that $40 for one of us would have made that cost prohibitive in the early years of autism. I just didn't have it. But to pay $40 per person for a family, the teams that I have interviewed that have been there that have 32 people, I was totally with you on this.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My media team, they said, look, I don't know what the kickback is going to be. Dina, you might have. And I said, if it's negative, it's negative. But you know what? At least the world and the community is going to know who I am and who the brand We Rock the Spectrum is and what we stand for and what our mission is, and that this resource fair has always been free and should be remain to be free. So I wrote my blog about that, and I spoke to the community. Almost 20,000 people read it. I had no idea. The emails were pouring in, people who were just crying, and oh my gosh, can you help? Can you maybe email and call them, and maybe they'll change it? And obviously that didn't happen.
It didn't
of course.
change.
It didn't change. So what I wrote in my blog was to be continued.
Yeah.
Keep around. We're gonna, come up with something. Obviously, it was already April, so we couldn't do a walk because in the summer it's very, very hot, as you know. But what we are announcing today is July 16th is our first Rockin Resource Fair.
Love it.
I'm very, very excited. Yes, we rented Woodley Park. We're gonna have at minimum 35 vendors. We are gonna have, oh my gosh, we have a sensory zone, we have a music zone, we have an arts and crafts zone, we have a food zone, we have a calming zone. It is huge, okay? It is as big as the Rose Bowl, okay, event we're doing. You know me, I don't know how to do things small.
I know.
That's just not who I am. But what's amazing is, and what I've never seen, okay, Shannon, is you always see events that are sponsoring only one organization.
Yes.
So I went to my team and I said, I want to do something different. They're like, oh God, Dina, we're ready.
I can imagine how your team takes that.
I said, I want to sponsor 5 different nonprofits that I believe in and I support. So, as you know, or maybe you don't, well, I know one that you're affiliated with and on the board, which is Act Now, right?
Act Today.
Excuse me, Act Today.
Yeah.
Which I know you do amazing work with Nancy, and I'm so excited to have you guys there.
And I think that we're really honored and thrilled and feel very privileged that it will benefit. And I know how much that means to those families.
Absolutely.
Because that's grants for things that families ask for. So thank you for including them.
Of course. Well, I am devoted to you for life.
Well,
we have Taka, who's coming on board.
Amazing.
We have Autism Society, and then of course Northridge, which is the special. Cal State Northridge.
Oh yes.
The special needs resource.
Yeah, and of course.
Am I saying it wrong?
No, you're saying it right.
Okay, the special needs resource.
Yes.
At CSUN, their program. Teresa Corey is phenomenal, and she's going to go.
Yes.
You drew a blank on our nonprofit,
No.
We're supporting them as well, and the Special Olympics.
Wonderful.
I'm working with Sasha Spalding, I'll tell you, and I missed her from Autism Speaks, and now working with her on this event. She was tremendous, came in the office. Lisa Ackerman, the founder of TACA, speaking with, Nancy and you the other day, and Matt Asner through Autism Society.
It's a great team of people.
It's a great team of people, and I have to tell you something, and you know this. I had my moment where I went, I said to Austin, who's my marketing director, I go, either we've made it big or they think that we're bigger than we are, because all these people were emailing and saying we want to be a part of it, and you guys are my mentors. I've idoled you guys and these organizations, and I am honored to be walking now alongside of you, with you.
That's
I'm going to start crying, but I really had that moment right before Stephanie's day, and I went, is this really for real? All the emails coming in when we launched social media about our event, we already have almost 500 people registered.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
But I don't think you realize, though, that you are a leader and that a lot of us are following you. There's a theater exercise that's called the flock of birds. and it's a mirror, but what it is that the leader changes from time to time, and that there are times in the exercise when you're doing your own thing and you don't realize how many people are following you. And I think that's true of you right now. I think maybe what this has brought to light for you is that a lot of us are following you, that you did something and you're carrying it through and you're being successful. There's a whole lot of people who want to do things and can't quite make it happen, and that's not you. No one would ever describe you as being that. So a lot of us are following you, Dina, and the fact that you didn't know it is not shocking or surprising or whatever, but now it's coming to light, and you've put together an amazing event, and you've put together amazing people. And here's what I know about you: your heart is always right. And when your heart is right, it attracts. It's a light.
I believe that. I believe that of anybody. But I guess for myself, I've just been so focused on doing what I can do for different communities in different states and now in different countries. And then, of course, knowing that our Los Angeles and San Bernardino, Orange County community deserve a huge, amazing event.
Thank you.
I mean, the food's going to be, this is something that's never been at an event. The food's even donated.
Aww.
We have food donated. We have water slides. We have a calming room that's going to have bean bags and fun sensory play. The arts and crafts area is going to be amazing. And the music, we're going to have kid bands there. Oh my gosh. I get chills. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside and I get chills. But yes, that's the key thing. It's free. It's free, and the first 100 people that come in, we're giving them a T-shirt, and whatever proceeds we do raise, what's great is that it's being distributed to all 5 of these different nonprofits.
Which is amazing. Which
I'm excited about. I'm excited that we can pay it forward, not just to one organization, but to 5 different ones, and have them all be together as one, doing the same thing.
But again, it's smart and it's the right thing, which is what you're known for, quite honestly. And if you look there, you see, I love this, celebrating inclusion for everyone, and it's free for all. It's happening on the 16th of July, which is a Sunday. And tell us exactly where the location is.
So it's Woodley Park. There's Woodley Park has, Woodley 1 and Woodley 2. It's Woodley 1, and it's got all the trees and beautiful shade, which we're going to have, air conditioning's running. Everyone's wanting to donate. That's what's so great. Everyone's wanting to participate. I never thought we would have the food donated. I mean, at these walks, like for AS, they would have like the Grand Club. People who, raised a certain amount of monies, right? They got access to that complimentary food. No, this is complimentary food to everyone.
Amazing.
So it's going to be phenomenal. People are wanting to donate the tents and, like I said, the water slides, their time. I mean, to have, like I said, the Matt Asners, the Sasha, Spaldings, the Lisa Ackermans, you yourself with Nancy, wanting to be part of this event, I'm honored. I know it's going to be tremendous.
Of course, everybody wants to be a part of it. And so what are the hours for the event?
So the hours are from 12 to 5.
12 to 5, okay. And, bring your entire family.
Exactly.
This isn't about, just bring your kiddo on the spectrum, but definitely do that. But bring your entire family. And when I say your entire family, I mean bring the aunt who never seems to understand what autism means and shows up for Thanksgiving and goes, why aren't you having him do whatever? Bring that aunt. Make her come with you.
You just nailed it, because speaking of that, we actually are going to have, people talking about, the ABCs of autism and those 10 things, I love that book, that 10 things that every, child wishes that we as parents knew what was going on inside them. We're going to be talking about that to the public about that. It's going to be a Q&A. We're going to have therapists there. We also have a couple wonderful corporate sponsors. Valerie Vanneman was just amazing, who has been my son's attorney, was the first to shout out and go, Dina, I'm there. I want to be, one of your corporate sponsors. And we have a couple of others that, want to remain anonymous. And we're just, we're so grateful. Banks that are reaching out, what can we do, who have heard about Rock, but then knowing that this is an opportunity where they can be involved. And again, bring the communities together. Okay, I'm a firm believer that Gabriel, our son, is doing as well as he's doing is because we've never segregated him. He's always been in a full inclusion mainstream program with his companion. That is why he is the young
The light that he
The
is.
light, exactly.
Sweetheart
The
that
little,
he is.
he and his sister, both the little autism whisperers. Now he's helping kids in the gym.
Oh,
He's
isn't that
going
wonderful?
in there and helping to be the voice for these other children. And again, having my 9-year-old with autism and my almost 13-year-old now be advocates themselves. I mean, I'm in awe. I'm in awe of them. I'm in awe. And like I said, it's hard to not get emotional, but I had an owner reach out to me yesterday, Sharon, and I'll tell you. She's been an owner for 3 weeks.
Oh.
And she said, I don't know how I haven't already been doing this. I was born to do this. Thank you so much. Already the families and communities that we're building. They're signing up for another location. They just opened up 3 weeks ago. Listen, it's not easy being a business owner, let alone of a Re-Rock or any business. There are people who try and open up Re-Rocks and it's difficult for them. And then there's the families where they have special needs children and neurotypical, and it fits, and they do the work, and they engage the community, the doctors, the different mommy groups. They bring it all together in one, and that is what this is about.
It's amazing. So before we run out of time, we got to talk about how people can get more information about a variety of different things. If you want to know about, is there a We Rock the Spectrum gym in your area, where should they go? Because I know you have different sites and then you have a main site. Where should they go?
Our main site is www.wrtsfranchise.com.
And WRTS, which rolls trippingly off of your tongue and no one else's, stands for We Rock the Spectrum. So if you forget, which letters was it? You just have to remember We Rock the Spectrum.
WRTS. Or if you go to rerockthespectrum.com, it also brings you to the site, which is the main site for Tarzan. But also, again, I believe in unity. All of the gyms have their own websites.
Yes.
Again, I feel like that unites us as one, and we all market for each other. They each have a location page, and they show what's coming soon in different countries in the US of A. And they've also the events. Hit the events page and register for the walk, okay? Because we want to be able to give out as many things, for free as possible.
There you go.
Shirts, we're having raffles. So many people, like I said, are wanting to reach out. I love it.
Okay, I didn't realize that people should register, so we haven't been telling people that. Register, and you do that on that page? Okay, and then for those of you who are at a point in your life where you're like, my job isn't working, my life isn't working, I need to be able to spend more time with my kiddos working on things that they need to work on for autism. This sounds like a fit for me, and that you're like me and go, okay, I could own a gym. Where do they go to find out about start doing a franchise?
The same site I told you about.
Okay.
WRTS
so everything
franchise.
is there, and you've
Everything
got all
is
the
there.
locations.
Absolutely.
And everything. Okay, so that's the hub for everything, and you can register if you're in the Los Angeles area. If you're not in the Los Angeles area but you're close, I would say that this is an event that's worth making a little bit of a trek for.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to meet people. And the reason why I was saying, bring the aunts and stuff, I think it's great that you're going to have speakers there, and that's really beneficial. But I think there is nothing like seeing. Seeing is believing. And when they get to see a bunch of individuals who are on the autism spectrum with a bunch of people who aren't, and everybody is happy, and you can't really pick out who, I think it enlightens people's minds in a way that we need to get to. And where else are you going to find that? So definitely where you've got to go.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, the volunteers are lining up. Half of our volunteers, our adult volunteers, are on the spectrum. That's not something else that you and I have spoken greatly about, and that's that we employ, young adults and teenagers on the spectrum. And they're all excited. They're like, oh my gosh, so you're having your own event? And, listen, I've always supported other people's. Of course, I love having events myself. I'm not going to lie to you. This is fun. This is fun.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you either. I think that for all of us, it feels like a sigh, because I know that you're going to do this and you're going to do this right and it's going to make sense. And that I know because of who you are, everybody's going to be included, and it's not going to be, oh, well, are you on the outs, or can you afford it, or, everybody's going to be included. I think everybody's just like, oh, that's exciting, because we know what we've done well.
Thank you.
You go hand in hand with that. It's not going to be fly by night. If I was doing a resource fair, we would all be afraid. But if Dina is, no, it's too many moving parts. I'm not good at that. But Dina is doing it. We know it's going to be done right, and I can't imagine a better group of people to get together to do it.
Thank you.
It's a really an amazing thing.
We're excited.
Well, we're excited about it too. So that's on the 16th. Dubai is happening in September, and you've been continuing to open. We did like 6 months ago. We took 1 hour and said we're gonna rock around the world.
That's right.
And we went to 5 different locations via Skype to kind of check in and see. But since then, when I went to meet with you last week, you had just somebody had just come back from Seattle, opening one in Seattle. Any other places that you want to shout out that you're about to open?
This weekend, our first in the state of Illinois. We're so excited, and that's the Range family. And I want to do a shout out to you guys.
Okay.
Good luck this weekend.
And where?
In Edwardsville.
Edwardsville. Okay.
Yes,
and where is that?
amazing.
Because I'm not geographically, I'm challenged. Picturing
well,
Illinois.
It's about. I know it's about 20 minutes from the St. Louis airport.
On the spot. There we go. Okay. So, but go to the site. Go to I can't even
WRTS.
say WRTS. I'd have to.
Or just werockthespectrum.com.
And there we go. So werockthespectrum.com. I'll say that because that I can remember. And check out the locations and see where it is that's close to you.
Absolutely.
Go.
Well, you know where we
It's
just
summer.
opened actually last weekend, actually,
Where?
also was Vegas. We finally opened up Vegas, baby. Yes, Vegas just opened up in Henderson.
Oh my gosh.
That was tremendous too.
Wow. And so people can, if they want to go and gamble, can they bring their kids and check them into the
Drop off at We Rock the Spectrum in Vegas and go
gosh.
gamble and have fun. Yeah. It's time. They needed it.
You know,
Big
when you
time.
think about all the different services that you provide to families, you really are the answer to every question.
Oh gosh, I don't know about that,
Right?
but all I know is it's an opportunity for people to have a life like the people who don't have special needs kids. That's the whole thing. We all deserve what each other has, which is a date with your husband, which is time to, you know, be the best parent you can be, which requires nurturing yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the most important.
Well, and I have to say too, Dina was so kind to invite me. I'm still not sure why, but you invited me when you had your big year-end thing with all of your owners.
My owners.
You had a big weekend with all of them, and then you had a big dinner, and you invited me.
Why would I not invite
Well,
you?
because I'm not one of your owners. But anyway, I got to come. And it was amazing. You know how to throw a party. And can I just tell you, like, you can tell when somebody's doing something right because we're a whole bunch of people who were talking really nice things behind your back. That was my experience all night long. Like, you could go a lot of other places and, you got a lot of different people that have a lot of different viewpoints and whatever, and it wouldn't have shocked me if there were a couple of people who were like, well, this or whatever. People say nice things about you behind your back. You should know that.
Thank you.
So I want to tell everybody, be at this wonderful Rockin Resource Fair,
Woodley
July
Park.
16th. But in the meantime, check out, it's hot. And your kids need to get their yayas out, and they need to get them out safely, and there's no better place to do, and you don't have to stay there the whole time. You could leave them and go get your nails done, something I don't know about. But you could do that because its time has come. We want to thank you so much for being here.
It's always a pleasure.
I adore you.
And right back at you.
She's amazing, isn't she?